Meanwhile, in Tupac news,
The shooting of Tupac Shakur once again underscores the violence that has surrounded this man since he shot the superstar.
People pulled up, opened fire. Shakur and Knight.
Tupac Shakur was shot several times in the chest. Shakur was pronounced dead.
MAKAVELI in this, Illuminati, all through your body. The blows like a 12-gauge shot. Feel me?
They saying 50 you hot. They like me, I want them to love me like they love pop.
MAKAVELI with touches, all eyes on me.
You know what? Who did you look up to for boss?
50. 50.
That's it. Ferrari at 50.
You get these big puppy low stuff.
Stolen watching you, but something gets stolen.
I ain't no window shopper. You man out here window shopping. I be in all the stores, and no, we ain't window shopping.
All y'all motherfuckers around Pop Smoke, protect him with your motherfucking life.
Many men wish death upon me.
Tough guys are like tough with the tough guys. You know what I'm saying? Because they know somebody gonna die.
Have mercy on my soul, don't let my heart turn cold. Have mercy on me.
Rap star on the rise, killed during a violent home invasion.
Only Gab can do it like this. Yo, YouTube, what up? It's your homie Gab, I'm in the building. And this is MAKAVELI Media. You know what, man, as a kid, man, coming up, man, as a hip-hop head, I remember I used to idolize certain rappers. Of course, Tupac. Of course, Nas. The LL Cool J's. You know what I mean? These was the guys that I took inspiration from. The guys I wanted to be like. The guys I wanted the jewelry like. The guys I wanted the game like. The style like. The limelight. The notoriety. Everybody scream my name. That type of stuff, right? You never know who's watching you. You never know. Now, it's funny to hear 50 Cent say multiple times that, yes, he wanted to be like Tupac Shakur. Right? He feel like he was close to Tupac Shakur. People tell him he's like Tupac Shakur. Even down to being shot, being the victim of a violent crime. 50 said, yes, if Tupac could take the 5 shots, he took inspiration from that to help get over taking 9 shots. So there was a big point in time in hip-hop when 50 Cent was the main attraction. 50 was the guy from one period to the next. My only problem with 50 Cent as an example was he didn't take the positive qualities of Tupac. He was more enticed by just the street beef glorification of Tupac. It's like he built the whole career based off Tupac's Hit 'Em Up. He took that one element and ran with that type of energy. That's what he did. And the sad part is, yes, people were following 50 based on the point in time they were born. That's what they draw to, or that's what they drew to. Now, look at the young deceased rapper out of New York, Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke, talented young brother, on his way to superstardom, highly influenced by 50 Cent. Now, I didn't know who Pop Smoke was before this unfortunate incident. Yes, I heard his music, but I didn't know who he was. A few months ago, I'm in my whip, I'm riding through the hood, and I hear this song, and I'm like, wow, 50 got a new song out? He sounded a little different. It was the party joint, right? I thought it was 50. I thought 50 was trying something new. That's how much this kid actually looked up to 50 Cent. Now, he was only 20 years old. This is heartbreaking. 20 years old. And this kid absolutely idolized 50 Cent. Sound like 50. Did his interviews like 50.
I'm gonna smack him. You talk crazy, I'm gonna smack you. You know what I'm saying? Say something stupid, I'm gonna smack you. Like,
the funny part is, he even resembles a young 50. And they even share the same last name, Jackson. It's just odd to me, man. You know, things can happen so fast. Now, this kid, Pop Smoke, huge up-and-coming star. You know, very talented young artist. I listened to some of his music. I was impressed. I was impressed by some of the songs that didn't get the notoriety. I like some of the stuff he had, like, on his mixtape. It's just a sad situation, man. They showed a video of him as a teenager getting slapped. And I guess he got kind of clowned for that. But they showed him, like, grow up as a man. And he caught up with that guy, man. And he beat the brakes off him. He got back with him. He got with him at the gas station. I mean, it was a brutal, brutal beatdown. And I listened to a lot of his music. And yes, he was living a very fast street life. And he was highly influenced from that one aspect of hip hop. You know, he talks about violence, jewelry, guns. Not in that order, but you get what I'm saying. And he lived it. And you know, the saddest part about hip hop is that so many young men lose their lives trying to live what their favorite artists talk about. They try to live it. Now, that artist may have lived it before they became famous, right? But once they got the millions of dollars in the mansion, they put all that stuff behind them. They got high security, police detail to protect them. In the meanwhile, back in reality, the kids that love their music try to live their lives. And they die. They die. You are what you eat. You know, if you digest so much of this type of, you know, intel, right? You can't help but let it affect you. Whether you subconsciously or consciously doing it on purpose, if you keep listening to certain things and, you know, and you glorify those things, eventually, you will try to portray it. So many kids lose their lives trying to live what their favorite artists talk about. You know, a lot can be learned by watching other people. You know, a wise man once said, you can learn a lot from your mistakes. But a wiser man said, you can learn a lot by somebody else's mistakes. You know, Tupac lived a certain kind of way, and he lost his life a certain kind of way. 50 Cent was living a certain kind of way, almost lost his life, was fortunate enough to be given a second chance and influence people. And he's done a lot of positive things of lately. This ain't no 50 hate. I'm just being real. But the example he set in his music did, in fact, affect somebody else's life. Now, Pop Smoke was his own man. You know, a young man, 20 years old once again, and could make his own decisions. And I'm sorry this happened to him. First and foremost, I'm very heartbroken that this happened to this kid. You know, 50 Cent is old enough to be this kid's father. And there's no responsibility, you know, on 50's end to raise anybody's child. But to know this kid followed him so much, 50 had to feel the sting of Pop Smoke's death. You know, he posted this footage I used in this video on his IG channel about Pop Smoke. And he also posted a couple photos, a caption of a picture of him and Pop Smoke talking. Sad, man. It's sad. One of these days, we'll try to lead better. One of these days, we'll all try to live better. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. He left way too soon. I need you guys to share and like this video. Don't forget to sub to the channel. This is Makaveli Media. I'm your homie Gab. It's been a pleasure as always. I'm signing off. I'm about to hit y'all with the peace.
You know what? Who did you look up to for boss?
50.
50. That's it, Ferrari.